Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Get Creative with Poulomi. Today we'll be doing an oil painting beach scene. For that I've got a 7 by 14 rectangle canvas and I've got some gambling oil colors. For medium I'm using Winsor and Newton refined linseed oil and some brushes. So the painting we'll be doing is this one from a calendar I have, and before that we'll prime the canvas with some gesso. So let's start. Priming the canvas with a gesso, and I'll be putting one coat of it and would let it dry for 24 hours. Starting with the sky, I am applying a mix of white and ultramarine blue. The upper part of the sky would be more blue, and as and when we come towards the horizon, it'll be more white. So when we do oil painting, we'll be using the linseed oil like the way we use water when we do acrylic paint. So when we want the paint to be thinner, so I'm mixing linseed oil. After the sky is done, we are using a mix of ivory black, ultramarine blue and a little bit of white to get a grayish blue to paint the distant mountain. Now we'll paint the first layer of the trees and bushes, and I'm using green along with some yellow. And I've only one green, and I'm using a little bit of cadmium yellow. With the same mix of green and yellow, I'm putting some dots on the distant mountain to depict some vegetation. And this is the lighter part of the vegetation, and we'll also use some black along with this mixture of green and yellow to depict the deeper part of the vegetation. Painting the coconut tree with a mix of burnt umber and white. On one side it will be deep, another side it will be light. So on the deeper side I will put more pure burnt umber brown, and the other side I would put a little bit of yellow to show the reflection of the light. Let's paint the sea now, and for that in the horizon I'm using some ultramarine blue, and as and when we'll come towards the land I'll use some cerulean blue. Now let's paint the sand. I have mixed burnt umber, white and a little bit of yellow. To paint the wet sand, I'm using the same mixture of burnt umber, yellow and white, and added some blue to it. Using pure titanium white to paint the waves. To paint the waves, you would just like to put some random dots and not completely cover it with white. Now let's paint the details of the trees. For that, I am randomly dapping the colors on the tree. For the highlighted part, I'm using pure yellow, and for the deep part, I'm using a mix of black and green. Now let's start with painting the coconut tree. First, I'm painting the inner side of the coconut tree with some burnt umber and yellow. Using the same mix of burnt umber and yellow, I am painting the other trees and also putting some shadows under the trees. Now let's paint the coconut leaves, and for that, the first layer I would like to paint with a mix of green and a little bit of black, because the first layer I would keep it deep, and as and when the layers start drying up, I would use more highlights to it. So when I do oil painting, I generally do the first layer and wait for 3 days to dry, and then put my next layer, like I have done it for the sky and the sea, and waited for 3 days, and now doing the trees. Also, I would show you the first tree, and later I would cover the entire piece with time lapse, as it will take a long time to complete the entire painting. While painting the first layer of the leaves, I'm using a number 4 brush. You can use a thicker brush, but as and when we would paint the final highlights of the leaves, we would use a 0 round brush. So now I have started putting some highlights. You can use yellow ochre, a mix of green and white, or at times where it is more sunshine, you can put direct white. Here you can see I am putting the highlights, and with a very thin brush I'm putting the details. You would like to dedicate a lot of time in painting the palm leaves, as this would be the focal point of your painting. For the darks, I'm using black or mix of ultramarine blue and burnt umber. Let's give some finishing touch to the sand. I'm applying yellow ochre, and you can see sometimes I'm just blending it with the white, or you can just put a little bit of linseed oil and just blend it with the painting. And finally we'll be ending the painting by painting the shadows of the leaves. For that I'm using a mix of ultramarine blue and red to make a purple. So that's the complete painting. Hope you like this painting, and if you do, please share, like, hit the bell icon for future videos, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Till my next video, stay safe. Bye.